Madam Speaker, I'm happy to yield next the gentleman from the great state of Texas, Dr. Burgess.
And I thank my friend from Louisiana for holding this hour and for yielding to me. Look, he so quite correctly outlined some of the difficulties facing Congress as we get to this end-of-the-year crush of legislation that has to pass before the end of the year. And there's no place where this is more pronounced than for our nation's doctors. The very people that we asked to get us through the pandemic, the very people that we've asked to take care of us, and now we arrive at the end of this Congress and we say, thank you for your service, here's your pay cut. And they go, wait, what? A pay cut? Look, the Surgeon General came to the Doctors Caucus earlier this year, and he said he was concerned. He goes around and talks to doctors all over the country. He's concerned about the level of burnout that he is seeing in the nation's physicians. He said he's never seen this before. But it really shouldn't be a surprise. You work, doctors and nurses, day and night during the pandemic, and then you turn around and say, and you know what, we don't value what you do. And the evidence for that is, right as we barrel into the end of this year, there are significant cuts to the physician fee schedule, sequesters, PAYGO, budget neutrality requirements that in aggregate spell about an 8 to 9% reduction in payments for physicians. Now look, for years, I fought to repeal the sustainable growth rate formula. Sustainable growth rate formula was repealed in 2015. I thought, hallelujah, we won't spend every December having to worry about how to make our doctors whole because the formula has gone away. But now, through administrative actions and through budgetary requirements, doctors are facing these pay cuts. So here we are in another December trying to scrabble together a doc fix so our doctors can remain in practice. But what makes this year so different and what makes this year so devastating to the nation's doctors is on top of the 8 to 9% cuts in Medicare, they're facing 8 to 9% inflation. Nowhere else in the federal government could you say, hey, we're going to hold you at level funding and not take into account the fact that the cost of living adjustment, it would be a pay cut anywhere else. Well, I'll tell you this, it's a pay cut in your doctor's office, and they're feeling it. The aggregate weight of these pay cuts is going to be such that we will drive doctors out of practice. I hear from docs all the time that they're going to have to close up shop. And what does that mean? It means further consolidation within the healthcare industry. It means further hospitals owning physician practices, private equity owning physicians' practices, because we just can't keep up with what the government is doing to us. Now look, there's a chance that something will happen before the end of this year and stop these cuts before they're administered, but I will tell you this, in the new Congress, in the next Congress, it is my intention that we have to be very serious about tackling this problem in our authorizing committees. I'm on the Committee of Energy and Commerce. I expect that very early in the year we will be intentional about fixing this problem because we can't find ourselves here in another December, in another year, where our docs are saying we're at the end of our ropes and we just can't take it anymore. This is a serious problem. It needs to be fixed. President Biden would talk about, hey, Republicans, they're going to cut your Social Security and Medicare. Well, Mr. President, you know who's cutting Medicare right now? You are. And it's your agency, and you won't stop it. Next Congress, Republicans will. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I yield back.
Thank you, Doc, for highlighting that.